What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you found us because today we are talking about a story that just keeps giving and giving and giving. I genuinely thought we were done with the Cardi B and Tasha K saga. I really did. But no. No. Cardi B is not letting this go. And honestly, at this point, I don't think she ever will. So let's set the scene. Because if you haven't been keeping up with every twist and turn of this case, you need to understand just how wild this journey has been before we get into the latest bombshell. Because trust me, this latest development changes everything. It's 2019. Cardi B, legal name Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar, files a federal lawsuit in Georgia against a YouTuber named Tasha Kebe, better known to the internet as Tasha K. And the allegations? The lawsuit accused Tasha K and an associate named Starmarie Ebony Jones of publishing false statements across YouTube and social media, including claims related to sexually transmitted infections, drug use, and prostitution. Now, put yourself in Cardi's shoes for a second. You're one of the biggest rappers on the planet. You've got a Grammy, you've got hits, you've got endorsements, and someone is sitting behind a camera in their house, spreading lies about your personal health and your private life to millions of people. Would you just let that slide? I didn't think so. And Cardi didn't. Fast forward to January 2022. The jury comes back. A jury sided with Cardi in January 2022, awarding $1.25 million in compensatory damages plus $250,000 for medical expenses, with punitive damages and attorney's fees, pushing the total past $4 million. For $1 million. Let that sit with you for a moment. That is not a small claims court situation. That is a life-changing number. And Cardi wasn't done there. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed that judgment in March 2023, leaving Tasha K with no escape route through the appeals process. Every door was closed. The appeals were gone. The verdict was locked in. So what did Tasha K do? She filed for bankruptcy. Now here's where it gets layered. When she first filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2023, Kebe said her biggest asset was a 2021 Chevy Silverado and that altogether she was worth less than $59,000. A Chevy Silverado. That's what she claimed. Now, I'm not here to judge anybody's finances. YouTube money is not what it used to be, as many content creators will tell you. But when you're looking at a $4 million judgment and someone says, "All I got is a truck," people are naturally going to raise an eyebrow. Cardi B's legal team definitely raised more than an eyebrow. But eventually, a deal was reached. Tasha K filed for bankruptcy in 2025 and negotiated a payment plan requiring $1.2 million over 5 years. So the $4 million got restructured into $1.2 million payable over time, and part of the agreement included a very important condition, a non-disparagement clause. Meaning, stop talking about Cardi B and her family. Full stop. Now here's my question for the comments. Do you think Tasha K was ever really going to stay quiet? Because what happened next should not surprise anybody. In the latest round, Cardi B filed a new motion in bankruptcy court in May 2026, claiming the blogger violated their legal settlement by disparaging her estranged husband, Offset. The filing alleged that Tasha K breached the strict non-disparagement clause during a recent live stream focused on the rapper's personal finances. And it wasn't just a one-time slip. In April 2026, Cardi's team returned to court, alleging that Tasha K violated the non-disparagement clause at least 25 times across social media platforms. 25 times. 25. Not once. Not twice. 25 documented violations. At that point, it stops being a mistake and starts being a choice. And the judge saw it the same way. A ruling came down in Cardi's favor on the enforcement request. The court ordered Tasha K to cover legal fees and remove the videos referencing Offset from all her platforms. The court also sanctioned Tasha K's attorneys in the process. And Cardi's attorney Lisa Moore went a step further. She's now asking the court to reinstate the original $3.9 million judgment in full. Let me say that again. The full $3.9 million. On the table. Again. That request is still pending, but what happened next? That's where this story goes to a whole different level. On May 6, 2026, The same day the judge ruled in her favor on the contempt motion, Cardi B filed a federal lawsuit in the Southern District of Florida against Tasha K's husband, Cheickna Kebe, and his company, Yelen Entertainment LLC, accusing them of running two coordinated schemes to move money and assets out of reach after the Georgia jury verdict. Now here's what you need to understand. Tasha K is not a named party in this new lawsuit because her bankruptcy case is still active, but the filing makes clear that the alleged schemes were carried out in coordination with her and on her behalf, and her name runs through nearly every paragraph of the complaint. So they went around the bankruptcy protection by going after the husband directly. That is a chess move. That is not checkers. That is chess. This is a 72-page federal lawsuit. The complaint alleges two parallel schemes. First, a successor liability scheme in which Yelen Entertainment was formed on May 31, 2022, shortly after the original judgment, and took over the entire Kebe Studios business, including operations, revenue streams, management contracts, and Tasha K's services as talent, without paying any of Kebe Studios' judgment obligations. Second, a personal income diversion scheme in which Tasha K's salary and earnings were rerouted, bank access was changed, and assets were shifted to frustrate garnishment on the personal judgment. And the numbers in this complaint are specific. The filing breaks out the judgment exposure this way: $2,863,753 against Kebe Studios, $3,363,753 against Tasha K personally, and a combined exposure of $3,863,753, exclusive of further interest. Now, let's talk about the YouTube money specifically, because this part caught my attention. The lawsuit claims Yelen Entertainment took all YouTube revenue, allegedly comprising $356,000 in gross receipts. So we're talking about YouTube ad revenue, money that was coming in from the platform, allegedly being funneled into a new company that had no obligation to pay Cardi's judgment. And this new company was supposedly doing the exact same work that the old company, Kebe Studios, was doing before the verdict. Now brace yourself for this one, because this is the detail that is going to have people talking. The lawsuit alleges that Tasha transferred a home interest to Cheickna Kebe for just $1. $1. A property. Transferred. For $1. Less than 1 month after the original judgment came down. Cardi's legal team argues that the transfers were made with actual intent to delay and defraud her and prevent her from collecting the judgment. And the complaint apparently came with receipts. The lawsuit was filed with 7 exhibits attached, including the original and amended defamation judgments, the 11th Circuit ruling affirming the verdict, forensic accounting prepared for the bankruptcy case, Yelen's tax records, and a quitclaim deed. Forensic accounting. They hired forensic accountants to dig through this. That tells you how seriously Cardi's legal team has been taking this. Cardi reportedly wants the court to undo the transfers and treat Yelen Entertainment the same as Kebe Studios, which could potentially lead to a larger judgment due to accumulated interest and legal fees. But a bankruptcy court must approve all of this for it to move forward as a jury trial. Cardi is also asking the court to hold the new company responsible for the original judgment and potentially hold individuals personally liable if the court finds they used the business structure to avoid payment.
So she wants the money.
She wants the company held accountable. And she wants people personally on the hook. This is not a situation where Cardi is just sending letters. She is coming with a full legal strategy. Because it wasn't just Yelen Entertainment getting pulled into this. Subpoenas were also issued to 2 companies connected to Tasha K, Yelen Entertainment LLC and Stash Media Works LLC, seeking documents tied to payments, business operations, and financial transactions. Attorneys are also seeking records related to her streaming platform, live events under the name Tasha K On Stage, and her online retail site TK Deals. The streaming platform, the live events,
The retail site.
they're pulling the thread on every single revenue stream. And when investigators start pulling threads like that, things tend to unravel. Here's what I want to say, and I want to be fair here. I don't know what Tasha K has or doesn't have. Anybody who tells you they know exactly what someone's finances look like is guessing. YouTube revenue has genuinely declined significantly across the platform. Ask any long-form content creator, and they'll tell you the same thing. ad revenue per view is not what it was 5 years ago. But here's the thing. The allegations in this complaint are very specific. We're not talking about vague claims that someone might have money. We're talking about a company formed 1 month after a judgment, a house transferred for $1, YouTube revenue allegedly redirected, forensic accounting, 72 pages of detail. Courts don't just make this stuff up. And Cardi's legal team, which has been winning at every step of this process, by the way, clearly believes there's something there. And then there's the non-disparagement clause. That, to me, is the part that genuinely confuses me. If you have a legal agreement that says don't talk about this person or their family, and you go live and talk about their family 25 times, what are we doing? There are millions of other celebrities and stories in the world. Why keep poking this particular bear? This case has now been running for 7 years, from the original lawsuit in 2019 to where we are today in 2026. 7 years of court filings, appeals, bankruptcy proceedings, contempt motions, and now a brand new federal lawsuit targeting a husband and his company. At what point does this end? Honestly, I'm not sure it does anytime soon. The request to reinstate the full $3.9 million judgment is still pending. The new federal lawsuit against Cheickna Kebe and Yelen Entertainment is just getting started. And Cardi B has the financial resources to keep this fight going for as long as she wants. Some people will say she should just move on. And I understand that perspective. At some point, is the energy worth it? But I also understand the other side. If someone spreads damaging lies about your health and your personal life, and then appears to be dodging accountability at every turn, can you really be expected to just walk away? That's a genuine question.
I want to know what you think.
Drop it in the comments. The bottom line right now, Cardi B has won the contempt hearing. Tasha K was ordered to remove videos and pay legal fees. Cardi's attorney is pushing to reinstate the original $3.9 million judgment. And now there is a brand new federal lawsuit in South Florida targeting Tasha K's husband Cheickna Kebe and Yelen Entertainment, alleging fraudulent asset transfers, income diversion, and a deliberate scheme to keep Cardi from collecting what the court said she's owed. This case is far from over. I will be watching, and I will keep you updated every single step of the way. As always, if you found this video valuable, hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next update on this case, because I have a feeling it's coming soon. I'll see you in the next one.